Smart, driven, achiever. Those are the words used to describe a Marquette High School grad who was shot and killed at Purdue University. The latest on the murder investigation in a live report ahead.
Plus, a Marquette University student could face criminal charges for distributing drugs on campus.
And I'm Michael in for Lance this Wednesday morning, talking about a little bit of snow business today. Then it gets a whole lot colder again. Details ahead. Stay tuned.
And we're monitoring your traffic conditions for you this morning. Make sure you drive with care. Those really cold temperatures could impact your commute this morning.
We are the CBS 58 Morning News with Nate Custer and Jessica Ty.
Good morning, everyone. It is 5:30 on the dot, Wednesday, January 22nd. I'm Jessica Ty.
And I'm Nate Custer, and we've been working overnight to bring you these top stories this morning.
Matt Doyle is live at Marquette High School with the developing story of a graduate from that school who was killed in the shooting at Purdue University yesterday. A truly heartbreaking story.
Plus, as I'm sure you've noticed, temperatures have dropped once again. We have what you need to know to start your morning off, and tracking your weather at this hour is meteorologist Michael Schlesinger with your first alert weather forecast. And Michael, so cold once again.
Yes, Nate, and add to that some light snow today. In fact, it's starting to close in across the metro area. Where it is snowing, you go especially north of 94. You see your darker blues on the radar around Sheboygan into parts of Dodge County, Baraboo, Madison. It's all sliding off to the east. Let me hone in just a little bit tighter here around West Bend and Elmira, Hartford, Beaver Dam seeing the activity. You go to the south, very close to McWanago and toward Elkhorn too. Again, count on this in waves throughout the day. There's more coming in from the west, as you can see here with this clipper system. Maybe adding up to about an inch of powdery stuff, so it'll be tricky on the roads to Milwaukee, to around the Dells. With the wind, it feels like -9 here, -11 in Madison. By the time we get to noontime, 10, 11 degrees is all we're going to do. On and off snow showers into the afternoon, probably tapering off this evening. Then a wind chill advisory tonight, followed by more snow into the weekend. I'll have all the details, all that great stuff coming up in a few minutes. Stay tuned.
All right, thanks so much, Michael. We are following a story out of the northwest side of Milwaukee this morning, a fire at a daycare.
We just got off the phone with workers at the Early Start Academy daycare at 5509 West Center Street who say school is closed and parents are being notified after the building caught fire. The building and a nearby van went up in flames just after 1 a.m. The flames and smoke are out at this hour, but the investigation into the cause is still ongoing. And CBS 58 is working to obtain more information this morning about why a student from Wisconsin was shot and killed at Purdue University. The victim, 21-year-old Andrew Bolt from West Bend, was a Marquette High School graduate. He was studying electrical engineering at Purdue and was in the engineering building when he was fatally shot. Bolt was due to graduate this spring. CBS 58 is also checking on a first court appearance for the person arrested in connection with the shooting. He has been identified as 23-year-old Cody Cousins. Now, Cousins is a fellow engineering student and was also working as a teacher's assistant just like Bolt. The tragic shooting has shocked so many and has especially hit home with those associated with Marquette High School here in Milwaukee. And that's where Matt Doyle joins us live this morning. And Matt, what have you learned so far?
Well, we learned that Andrew Bolt graduated from Marquette University High School back in 2010 and headed to his dream school, Purdue University in West Lafayette, Indiana, to study electrical engineering. He was expected to graduate from Purdue coming up this spring when he was gunned down yesterday while doing his teaching assistant job at Purdue. Now, one of his former teachers here at Marquette University High School remembers him as a student that she thought would make a big impact on the world going forward and make it a better place. Now, Jean Morrell teaches here at Marquette University High School, and she taught Bolt when he was here. Now, she also went to Purdue University herself and wrote a recommendation letter for Bolt for him to get in there. She had heard rumors throughout the day yesterday about what had happened there, and she was just devastated to hear the news, and it really hit home for her because she says she remembers where exactly Bolt was when this happened because she did attend there. Now, she even used words like smart, driven, popular, and achiever to describe him, and says that all the Marquette University High students and faculty are feeling this loss and describe Bolt as a young man with a bright future.
A young man who came from an outstanding family. He was gifted in mathematics. He was a curious student who was, I think, more interested in learning and questioning than he was in what grade am I getting.
And now even one of his friends from high school who played on the track team with him as well called him a very promising, very smart, and very caring. Obviously a tragic loss for the Marquette University high school students and faculty. Now Bolt's younger brother still attends this high school and is a senior here. His older brother graduated here back in 2007, and right now the Bolt family has asked for privacy during this difficult time. We are live in Milwaukee this morning. Matt Doyle, CBS 58 News.
Thank you for that report, Matt. It is 5:35 right now, and hundreds gathered for a candlelight vigil on the Purdue campus last night, where Bolt is remembered as likable and smart.
For those that knew him, devastating. I mean, he was truly a wonderful guy.
He was very polite, very humble, very nice human being, and he was a very bright student.
The Boilermaker family really gathered together in this time of need, and that we're all here for each other's support.
This event's so very tragic, and there has been an outpouring of condolences on social media this morning, from Facebook to Twitter. You can find all of that information by heading to our website at cbs58.com. When you get there, click on story links to find that info.
A Marquette University student could face criminal charges for distributing drugs on campus. According to university officials, 5 students were taken to the hospital after ingesting an alleged illegal narcotic Sunday night. Neither Milwaukee police nor university officials will confirm which drug was used. A person with knowledge of the incident talked with CBS 58.
On my floor, took acid with his girlfriend, and they both had really bad reactions to it. One of them went to the hospital, and I guess one of the girl who did it is in jail for having possession of it.
Milwaukee police have arrested a female student, and the district attorney's office is now looking at this case.
Time now is 5:36. A warning from bar hoppers along Milwaukee's east side. Police remind everyone to be aware of your surroundings. On Saturday, there were 3 armed robberies on the east side, all between 2 and 3 a.m. They took place on Maryland, Arlington, and Astor. And police say there might have been more violent robberies that night had a citizen not called 911 and given them a detailed description of the suspect's car.
And it was fortunate in this case that we had a citizen that called in and helped us, because we already were investigating the first 2 robberies but had very little in the way of leads on those 2.
Police from District 1 were able to find that vehicle within minutes, and 5 suspects ranging in age from 17 to 21 are now in custody.
A former youth counselor who admits to sharing child pornography on Facebook is a free man this morning. 37-year-old Robert Turk was initially charged with 5 felony counts of possessing child pornography, but he struck a plea deal yesterday that spared him from registering as a sex offender or serving any prison time. His attorney says a delay in charges impacted the outcome of this case.
It got lost to a certain extent in the system. I don't know exactly who did what, but I do know that the information ended up being 3 years old, and that was a subject to my motion.
Turk was sentenced to 9 months of probation after pleading guilty to reduced charges. He has agreed not to have any contact with children other than his daughter.
We're learning more about the prime suspect in the case of a missing Milwaukee woman. 27-year-old Kelly Dwyer disappeared back in October, and her boyfriend, 39-year-old Chris Zacco, was the last one to see her. Zacco has not been charged in connection with Dwyer's disappearance. However, prosecutors say he's a key suspect, and a search warrant unsealed on Monday revealed a number of inconsistencies in Zacco's story.
Until they find her body, they can't really charge Zacco with anything.
Now, Zacco faces child pornography and drug charges. That came about as a result of the investigation into Dwyer's disappearance. In the meantime, Dwyer's family is offering a $10,000 reward for information on her whereabouts.
It is 5:38 on this Wednesday. Looking ahead, U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin will stop by MATC this morning to talk about her new legislation, the Green Act. It's aimed at training college students for clean energy jobs. During that visit, Baldwin will also learn about existing green-collar programs at the college. The public is invited to an open house this afternoon to view and give feedback on plans for a $34 million lakefront gateway project. That project would dramatically change the appearance of the lake interchange. It includes a complete rebuild of both I-794 ramps and reconfiguration of several streets in the area. That meeting is on the upper level of the Milwaukee Public Market on Water Street. It goes from 4 until 7 o'clock tonight.
5:39 now, and today is the day for that Common Council vote on the failed renovation of Milwaukee City Hall. Aldermen are voting on a settlement to a lawsuit regarding the 2008 renovation. 3 years after that $76 million project, a chunk of the 120-year-old building fell down onto Market Street. The city sued, and today's council vote will determine whether or not taxpayers wind up paying for any of the costs associated with the repairs. And a reminder, the governor's State of the State address will air live on our sister station at WMLW tonight at 7 and will then be rebroadcast on the dates and stations shown right here on your television screen.
Yet another cold snap is blanketing southeastern Wisconsin this morning. It's not quite as bad as when the polar vortex was here 2 weeks ago, but it's still cold enough for people to be quite fed up with the harsh winter we're having.
I'm about tired of it. I should have stayed in New Mexico where I belonged.
You don't like the cold?
No, I don't like the cold.
Some people are beating the cold and snowy weather by booking a trip to someplace warm. Travel agencies say they're especially busy this year.
Sounds like a good idea right about now. Time is 5:40. There's talk of putting another beer garden in a Milwaukee County park. There's been a beer garden in Estabrook Park for the last 2 summers, and they also opened one up at Hoyt Park in Wauwatosa last year. If the plans are approved, a beer garden will open in Humboldt Park on Milwaukee's south side this coming May, in fact, and the public will be invited to the park on February 10th to talk about that proposal. Another way to enjoy the summertime in the area.
Exactly. It's so nice just to kind of close your eyes and visualize back Estabrook Park, green grass, the beer flowing in the summer.
Nice frosty adult beverage in the summertime heat.
Keep rolling the video. I'm not done with this yet.
We got to visualize it.
Yeah.
Then you open your eyes, look out the window, and back to reality.
Right. Yeah. Back to reality. Sharp reality, it's January, and we're still talking about a deep chill and a little bit of snow to go with it today. So be careful, again, on the roads. Doesn't take a lot to create problems. Show your radar in just a second. You can see this is the south side of Milwaukee, 27th in Oklahoma. Traffic is moving fine, but you get that little bit of snow coming our way throughout the morning into the afternoon. That could change things. 2 degrees in Milwaukee. We've been hovering there all morning long. Humidity is pretty high, about 65 to 7%. Again, we're talking about winds in from the southwest right now out of the head of this Clipper system that's just to the west of us. Baraboo and Madison, you see the darker blues indicative of your snow coming down, say around Shaniqua, Waukesha County into Mukwonago, but it definitely around Sheboygan's heavier there. But across the metro, really nothing, maybe a flake or two, but better chance around Mequon. But again, the gap will fill in as this low gets closer in from the west, and eventually all this will be out of here, I think, some point into the early evening hours, but not before giving us perhaps about an inch of snow, as mentioned. And then tomorrow, some of us could actually see a little bit of lake effect snow around the lakeshore areas. It won't be a lot, but we'll be watching that very carefully. Quick look at the 7-day, 14 today, about an inch of snow, 7 tomorrow, 21, 22 Friday, Saturday, another snowstorm late Friday and Saturday, and then into next week, maybe some more light snow. Sunday, 12, lows at night, negative numbers many of these nights, so hopefully your furnace is working okay.
All right, thanks so much, Michael. 5:42 right now. Before we head out the door, we want you to come take a look at the screen here. Check out the live look from our exclusive iCam this morning. Andy Bravelli is up early driving the Milwaukee area freeway system for us. Good morning, Andy. How's it going?
Good morning to you, Jessica. Actually, the flurries slash snow have started a little bit. It's not heavy by any means. It's very light. The light powdery thing. It's actually blowing over the freeways out in Waukesha County a little bit, but again, just want to probably give yourself a little bit of extra time before you head out this morning. Walk around your car, knock off any accumulated ice or snow that you may have picked up from yesterday or the overnight hours. So, again, just take your time this morning. The rest of the system looking pretty quiet so far. The disabled semi westbound 94 has since left, and the rest of the system looking pretty quiet so far.
All right, thank you so much. Those flurries so light, it's actually hard to even see them on the camera. So that's some good news, but we'll see if that changes here because we do have quite a while to go yet, and it's only 5:43. Let's go ahead right now and take a live look from the DOT cameras right now. It is Wednesday morning, middle of the work week. I-43 at Wells Street. You can see traffic moving along at a good pace there. No major accidents to report, so that's some good news. A live look at I-43 at State Street.
Time now is 5:44, and we've got some advice for men who hope to stay heart healthy this morning.
It's pretty blunt and doesn't require a lot of effort. Plus.
Were you drinking last night?
Yes, I was.
You were drinking last night?
A little bit, yeah.
Toronto's mayor is back in the spotlight this morning, admitting that he's broken a promise that he made last year.
And as you just heard from Michael Schlesinger, you're waking up to another very cold morning here in southeastern Wisconsin. At least we can say we're not in the path of that huge winter storm that struck the East Coast. However, that could still impact your flights today, so make sure you're checking in Mitchell Airport. This is the CBS 58 Morning News.